Okay, we are playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
I want to point something out before we leave the screen. I think that looks like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I actually like the design of her face. Now, I didn't take a screenshot of her. I don't think she's really hot. I didn't...
Well, she's not for the male gaze.
Well, she doesn't...
So you cannot take a screenshot.
They made sure she doesn't dress for the male gaze, that's for sure, but... So, I've made my opinions on this game so far pretty abundantly clear.
Yeah.
I am frustrated with parts of this game. Without spoiling it for anyone here, those frustrations, a lot of them could be alleviated with story additions. Not all, but a lot. I am going to try and have fun. We are going to co-op this game. The beginning of it, I have to play alone.
Yeah.
You already just played it. The first 2 missions are solo only.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be switching between characters as we play and just kind of having fun. We'll try and listen to, not all, but most of the dialogue, like especially some of the special stuff. This game has a lot of talking, like Spider-Man, so we're just going to do our best with it. If you want a silent Let's Play, this is not it. Just so you know.
I think this game has more talking than Spider-Man.
It's very constant.
Just in like the 20 minutes I played, I felt, because just do the tutorial, I felt like it was talking every 5 seconds.
They talk a lot.
Metropolis. It's the little things that really change a city's vibe. The weather, gentrification, the alien invasion.
Task Force X, stop sightseeing and see if you can kill everything in sight. Got it?
Hate to say it, but Waller's right. We got work to do. How did you 3 get split off this time?
Hey, wasn't my fault we got lost. This time. We should convene at the Daily Planet. It is a very central location.
Still playing tour guide, Sharky. Love that.
Come on, y'all, focus. We're Game 7, last quarter out here.
I do not know what this means. It seems like it would be very high pressure and stressful.
Yeah, you lost me there too, Floydie.
Oh, aren't you supposed to be a Yank, Carls? Even I got the reference.
Just don't get yourselves killed doing something basic.
Well, you know Boomer. He's always basic.
Oi! Wait! You're basic!
See what I mean?
So, this is pretty much the single-player tutorial. We'll get through it as quick as we can. I don't really think it adds anything to the story.
It really doesn't, no.
It just kind of is one of those, you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started when I was 12 type things, you know, in stories, which both of us absolutely love that method of storytelling.
I've never liked tutorials ever in games. I mean, yeah, they're helpful for understanding the controls and stuff like that, but I've just always found them boring.
I like how it cut to you talking to me. I really don't understand how to sprint as Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I just like, it all makes sense now.
Wonder why.
Skip the tutorial.
Yeah, I don't know. Basically, a lot of this is just flavor text to tell you how to play.
Yeah.
Some of it matters, very little of it does. But I like the gameplay of this game, so I'm hoping that when we play it together, it'll be fun. And I really am hoping that in later seasons, they will add stuff. My concern is that, and we'll run into this later on in the story, there's a lot of shock factor stuff in this game, where it was very clearly done to generate headlines like, whoa, I can't believe this happened to this character type thing.
Right.
And
just switch up the guns.
When you do that,
slow breath.
I will say that you run the risk of people not coming back. So, like, if I make a game or a movie and I'm like, hey, let's say I make Legend of Zelda, and in it Ganondorf cucks Link and mind controls Zelda and, like, dates her. There's going to be a lot of people who are so annoyed that even if I release a DLC later and I change all that, they're never going to play it.
Right.
And I think you can say, oh, well, then they should have just played it, but a lot of people are going to be like, well, I really am frustrated with this. I'm good.
Well, plus there's so many other things to play, too, that people just aren't going to stick around randomly.
Yeah, if they get really mad.
Yeah, right.
Easy. Yeah, easy.
So that's kind of my concern with this game, is that even if they do change some of my personal things that I didn't enjoy, that it will be too late for the game. And you'll have to see what I'm talking about as we play more, because you guys will probably have your own opinions. And I think some of the people watching this game will love it. Genuinely. Like, I think some of the people watching and playing this game will love it way more than me. But that's just kind of my stance on it, because at the end of the day, this channel's supposed to be fun, so I'm not going to preach at you like every 20 minutes about, hey, I hate this thing. But if those things come up, we'll probably end up talking about them.
Would you say that the people that love this game have the wrong opinion?
No, I don't fully understand how they can have their opinion unless they didn't play the previous games that this studio made.
Right.
Like, they can have it, but I don't understand why you'd have the mindset. And I have seen a lot of people say, well, the shock value stuff, they're just gonna, change those things. Those things you don't like, they're gonna change them. And I'm like, I don't know how much better that is, because that would mean that you've made your base game just to piss people off for sales than to backtrack on it. So it's like, I would prefer that. I'd prefer a backtrack. I'd prefer a Rise of Skywalker approach where you don't decanonize, but you explain away certain things. But I don't think that necessarily makes it a better gameplay design or game story design. This is, I guess, dialogue.
I am in a tunnel. It only has 2 exits despite its length, which seems highly inadvisable. Human architecture is fascinating.
Are you researching again? Can't you just look at pictures later?
The experience would not be the same, Floyd Lawton. I would never ask you to simply look upon renderings of Atlantis. It must be experienced.
I'd kind of prefer pictures, actually.
Oh-ho! New Deadshot phobia!
Nah, that ain't a phobia.
Alright, so King Shark's traversal is actually really cool.
Yeah. I like all 4 of them.
They are really fun. I actually like that people care now about King Shark
Yeah.
and think he's fun.
Well, it's because of the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, it kind of popularized him with the mainstream audience. But I'm glad that it did.
Only there were enemies here. That would be a splash.
Who's been teaching Sharko puns again?
Maneuvering through the air has its advantages.
What if part of the story, like the end of the story, because you have to obviously get to this point, at the very end of it, what if you have to go through this tutorial again?
Now that would be epic.
Would that be fun?
I would love doing the tutorial again.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, you were like, you're wondering how I got here. Well,
so
now
it's
I'm
like,
here.
Well, eventually we get to that point.
I think it'll cut past it. You know, like to
Hopefully.
the, hey, now we're actually here part.
Hopefully it does.
But we'll have to see. But yeah, no, I don't know. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense, by the way, because, like, I'm not going to sit through the game and be like, oh, look, another thing I hate. I'll probably talk about them, but I actually am trying to have more fun with it this time through.
Yeah, and the game is fun.
Yeah,
It's a fun gameplay game. I
Yes.
like it a lot. I don't know anything about the story yet, but it's fun.
well, you know some.
I know some about the story.
And I think some of your opinions matched up with mine, actually, pretty much exactly.
Yeah.
With the things you do know.
I'm just not trying to sound like, critical about the game.
Like an expert.
Like moist critical, yeah.
He hated it, by the way.
Well, moist critical is moist when he talks about things.
That's true, that's a good point.
Which I don't know what that has to do with this, but I wanted to
I think you
point
just
out
wanted
that
to
he's
talk
moist.
about him.
I just wanted to point out that he's moist.
He's a
that's
very
all.
handsome guy. He reminds me of white European
Sacrifices are
Jesus.
greatly appreciated.
What?
I wanted some extra exercise.
You mean just Jesus? Because that's the real version of Jesus?
Uh-oh.
All the top brooding and cackling spots in Gotham.
Oh, I already have a list, but I would love a true Gothamite's perspective.
Quinn's got point on this one. Not many scenic views in my line of work. Can't get spotted.
Floyd, mate, you ever taken a vacation that wasn't work?
By the way, I find it funny how in this game, and they get into it, this is not the same Deadshot as Arkham, but this takes place in the Arkham universe.
Yeah.
But something funny about it is you will see that they bring it up over and over again. That this is a different Deadshot. Like, I remember 4 different instances of dialogue being like, hey, why aren't you that guy?
Right.
And Rocksteady really wants you to know when playing this game that he's not the same guy. Like, they really want you to know that they they didn't just like race swap him. He's just a totally different character.
Right.
And they will tell you.
Greetings, Deadshot. Where are Harley and Boomerang?
Not with you. That's the problem. Boomer, check in.
What, me? Yeah, see, I had to fight off half of Brainiac's army. Yeah, all on my own. Yeah, me!
So tell us all about that big fight just now.
Yes, regale us with your tales of glorious combat.
Yeah, well, you see,
Take your time, sweetie. Let the mental boomerang make it back.
I forgot that Jill was editing during this, so she is probably going to do her best to cut the clicking out of it, but
And now I'm going to annoy you by standing here and going and making weird noises.
no, okay, well, we already talked about the special school earlier.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize I just killed myself.
Okay.
It was probably because of those noises.
Yeah, I know. Those are throwing you off.
Or they encouraged me to do it.
You must get away from the noises.
You know, by the way, complaint a lot of people had that I don't have is a lot of people were like, oh, why does,
gotta knock him around first to get rid of those shields.
a lot of people complain about Captain Boomerang using the Speed Force.
Yeah.
I think it's really fun. I don't have a problem with it, and they do explain it in the story.
I think it's super fun. I'm just not good at it.
Right, but you don't have like a continuity complaint of like he shouldn't have the Speed Force.
No, not at all.
But that's one I saw was like, hey, he shouldn't have the Speed Force. He's not a speedster. And I'm like, okay, well, I get what you're saying, but they do explain why he has it. It's not an innate ability he was born with or anything.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a speedster on his own.
Right. Because, yeah.
Yeah. Reckon I can make that.
Yeah, I mean, I know why he has it. I'm going to wait for the story to explain, but, like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the complaint for that specific thing.
No, me neither. Well,
hold R1.
Oh no, what's gonna happen? I almost didn't make it.
Oh.
That's a big
L1.
The Deadshot and Shark can
So they
make
teach you all this, and I will say this game has a lot of mechanics, which are
every
pretty
drop of
cool.
Speed Force I've got.
I'm always forgetting, like, oh, yeah, like I didn't even need to do that. Look.
Yeah. Like, that stuff is, I don't know, that stuff's kind of confusing to me.
Well, you
Like,
jump.
speed, like the dash. I mean, the dash and the Speed Force run.
So when you're in the air, you jump. So when you're in the air, you press L1 and press forward, and you can dash. Does that make sense? So
L1 and forward.
So look, so this doesn't matter, they're talking. So when you hold R1, you see how you can go here?
Yeah.
Now you can extend it by pressing L1 a bunch of times.
Oh.
Or you can do a second Speed Force with R1.
Damn, might have overdone the speeding.
That makes sense?
I'll have to practice it.
You will have to practice it. I actually think the Traversal is really good in this. It's kind of like Spider-Man. I mean, in terms of quality of Traversal, not in terms of what you're doing. But it reminds me of Sunset Overdrive or Spider-Man or one of those games. Or even Assassin's Creed, where they find kind of stylish ways to get you up walls and over obstacles. I actually really like it.
It's very creative, I think.
And so, something that I was talking to a friend of mine, Slickmoth, about, who makes YouTube videos, obviously. I don't know if anyone here will not know who he is. That I agree with him on is, like, the gameplay and, like, the world in this is so vibrant and colorful, but the story choices that they made for me make the game feel depressing, and that's why I think overall, if they fix a lot of that, I will actually enjoy this a lot more.
Yeah, me too.
Ah, Boomerang. You seem uninjured despite your supposedly harrowing battles. Did you not see Harley?
No, I didn't see her through all the, bodies. Hey, House, where'd you disappear to? Ain't got yourself beat up, have ya?
Deadshot's all. You ain't got no self-preservation, Quinn. I had to be there. Or Alive? Anywho, I'll be there in a Gotham minute.
Are you puppeting the dead goons again? That shit is creepy.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's a balm on my soul in these trying times. Could be worse. I could be like Boomer.
Oi! What's that supposed to mean?
There is speculation that you may not bathe, but merely cleanse your weaponry.
Mate, where my boomerangs go, I go. Including the showers, the dunny, everything.
Yeah, you're really not helping your case here.
This is hell. I've died, and this is what my hell looks like.
Nate was dealing with something off-screen during this. We had the world's loudest computer exporting a Spider-Man part. Oh, okay.
Are you dying in the tutorial?
No, I didn't almost fall. Ignore it. The funny thing is I did play a bunch of the game, but then the tutorial asks you to do specific things that I almost never had to do.
Yeah.
To get around, where it'll be like, this obstacle is here and you can only get past it doing this, and I'm like, yeah, there's almost nothing like that in Metropolis, actually, that I needed to do that to get around. So then I just completely forget what I'm doing.
Well, that's why I don't like tutorials, because it's always very specific things.
Yeah, and very situational.
Yeah, like, you have to do it this way. I'm like, well, I will probably never use that feature.
Yeah, I will never play the game that way.
Yeah.
And that's why you're bad, though. Because you never use that feature.
Oh, I'm so excited for people in the comment section to be like, well, you're awful at the game.
Luckily, they'll mostly only be seeing my screen, so they can tell me I'm awful and that's why I have problems with the story, because I'm not good at the game or something.
That makes sense.
I don't know how that works, but I've heard that kind of thing before. Like, even when I was playing Spider-Man, and I was like, man, I really wish there was, like, a director's cut or something. I wish that they would restore some of this cut content and, you know, bring back some of these story points I like, because I love these comics. It's like, well, maybe if you were better at the game. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with me not liking something with the black suit, you moron?
Right.
Swing drone!
Like, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's so stupid.
Junior gymnast finals. Swing, release, wait for back drone, swing again, stick the landing.
Why is she talking in mine still, but the sound was way earlier? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she was still talking when she ended talking.
That's weird.
Anyway.
Well, it's like those same complaints, yeah, where it's like, where people act as if you have to be good at the game to have an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, someone will say, like, yeah, I didn't really like this game that much. You're just bad. And I'm like, and I know we've talked about this before, but it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right, even if it's true, what does that have to do with anything?
Right, yeah.
Because maybe I am, but what does that have to do with it?
Right, it's like I still played the game, I still beat the game, I still have an opinion of the game. Like, I don't know.
By the way, she was a gymnast, so I'm thinking she might have some, you know, flexibility.
Oh, she definitely does.
You know?
Not for the male gaze, though, for the female gaze.
If there was one DC girl I would date, it might be her.
Really?
Actually, Harley Quinn. It's up there, though, like...
I'd probably
Catwoman.
Batgirl.
Catwoman's up there, Batgirl's up there, Poison Ivy's up there, too, assuming that they like you and they're not going to kill you.
Hello, boys. How's your apocalypse been going?
Now that we're finally all here, we can get down to...
Almost forgot. There's a big honking group of baddies ready to descend on us like fresh meat at the buffet line. So, who's staying to play hero?
By the way, when you said... Let's look at these really quick. I like that they have their little titles here. They did a really good job actually letting you switch between people at any time, but you can't do it during missions. Or you can switch during missions, you can't switch during combat.
Oh, okay.
But you can switch after and outside of combat. I would say if they ever do another game like this, and I'm ignoring all my story stuff, I hope that they make it so you can switch during combat, and the same goes for Spider-Man, because something I loved, I was talking to Jill about this the other day, is in Arkham Knight, one of my favorite parts is when you can team up with the Bat family members like Nightwing.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Tim, like Robin, and then you can change your character during the fight when you do a takedown.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I kind of would love to see a game like this. Like, imagine if I, like, knocked him up in the air and then I, like, called in Boomerang immediately.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know, something like that. Or even with Spider-Man and Miles, instead of just Miles showing up during crimes, what if you could pretty much have it where you are playing, you take a guy down, then you swap to Miles immediately and you're using his abilities.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
That would be incredible.
No automatic recharge. Every second you spend hiding behind cover is wasting my time. If you want to stay alive, you'll have to fight for it. That means harvesting shield charge from enemies in close combat.
So you did not like the shield harvesting thing.
No. I guess I just didn't understand it, maybe.
Pretty much you shoot them in a way that's non-lethal, and then they glow, and then you can hit them with melee. And then you get your shields back. That make sense?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. I'm not into it, really.
No.
And to go to your earlier point, too, I kind of hope they don't make another game like this.
Oh, another Suicide Squad game?
Oh, I'm just talking single-player games that are live service.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree with that point.
Online live service-y games.
Love lobby candy. Except butterscotch. Too sticky. Ah, the propaganda arm of capitalism. Nice lobby. Very old money art deco. Would have been real nice if they'd ever given me press outside of Joker, though. Even my best solo work was just a setup to his punchlines as far as they were concerned. Yeah, well, ain't nobody calling me a sidekick now. Least of all this place. We can workshop the headlines when this is all over. Make sure the editors get it right.
Boy, I bet Brainiac would give good head with that thing.
Skull ships honked off at us. Over.
All of you, move to the objective. The Prometheum shield is up, but it won't last forever.
Reminds me of a Sunday morning back home.
Yes, the nostalgia of an active war zone. During the Hammerhead conflicts of my youth.
No, focus, people. Those shark fights do sound pretty cool, though, big man.
Move to the engagement zone, Task Force X.
Were you saying something, by the way? Oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, the live service thing. I completely agree with you. But it's not a live service, and it will get a patch to be offline anyway. You're just hating.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just reading a comment I got.
Patch not on the disc.
But people don't care about the disc anymore, man.
I know.
They don't care.
Makes no sense to me.
Just because you and I care doesn't mean they do.
Well, they'll care when they're paying $100 a month for streaming services for games.
Yep.
And they'll care when they want to go play, Assassin's Creed 3 or something like that, and Ubisoft is like, yeah, you could play that.
If you stream it,
$20 a week, maybe, for a streaming service.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like nobody thinks about that.
And then they'll be like, yeah, you can't play it this month. We're going to take it off the streaming service.
Or, oh, this was too offensive. We're going to redo this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more worried about, is like just the compromisation of art. Because at what point is it like, I know nobody takes you seriously when you bring up this point. They're like, I can't believe you referenced this, but it's like, this is just the modern day version of making it easier to burn books. To like round up something you disagree with or don't like and get rid of it, because you can just censor anything that's digital.
Yeah.
At any time. And it's like, you can say, well, I can't believe you referenced that historical thing, like, but it's true. Like, if you had like 5 million discs everywhere, do you know how much harder that would be to censor than if everyone had to go through the same servers to stream something and that was the only way to play it?
Right.
Or watch it? Like, there's no argument there. Like, yeah, I'm not saying they couldn't go door to door and take them, but, like, that's gonna be a big process compared to just, hey, we don't like that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier said this thing. Let's edit it.
Yeah, and they've already done that with The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So...
where the discs have things on them that the streaming version doesn't.
Yeah.
But, oh, well, that's just a convenient example for you, because you're I don't know, hater.
Well, I'm also an internalized misogynist.
I'm an externalized misogynist. I'm sharing it.
Right?
There's no internal aspect to it. You're going to find out about it. You think you've seen a misogynist? Whoa. Wait till I teach you.
I hate these snipers in this game.
Yeah, they're a little frustrating, and then they teleport away when you get up to them, if you notice that.
Yeah, yeah. So my first impressions of this game, from just being a little into it, gameplay fun.
Uh-huh.
I think the gameplay just will be fun throughout the entire experience.
Yes. You'd be right. I find it fun.
Yeah.
I will say a little, there are some repetitive missions, but I guess any game will have that.
Yeah, and I've heard that. I've heard that complaint online too. I'm just kind of disappointed in... I kind of just wish, instead of a Suicide Squad game, I wish it was just a Justice League game.
Or just a Superman game in Metropolis.
Or just a Superman game, or even like a Flash game, or a Wonder Woman game, or a Green Lantern game. Or, to be honest with you, even a Suicide Squad game, but it was maybe just introducing the Suicide Squad instead of like, hey, we got a game where you brutalize the Justice League. And it's kind of like, oh yeah, the Justice League that we have not seen yet in this universe? That one? You know, like, I just find that dumb.
Right. No, I totally get it.
Like, I'm kind of like, why, like, who in Rocksteady said this was the next game? Is kind of my point.
Yeah, who at Rocksteady decided Suicide Squad game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Before, like, a Superman game or a Flash game or anything.
There's a lot to that, and anything you say will turn into an argument.
That's true.
Because there was at first the rumors that they wanted to do Superman, and now insiders, and I think Jason Schreier, the one guy for Bloomberg, said, oh, well, that's not true.
Yeah.
And why did it back me out, by the way? So this is really weird. It like randomly backed me out, but before it made it so that you could just play through from where you were at. So maybe it's because it was the tutorial.
Maybe.
I like this, by the way. If you listen to the music, it uses parts of the original Arkham Asylum music.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice touch.
Which I think is cool. The music is cool, but there's not a lot going on. I do like that the intro here is similar to Arkham when Batman drove in here.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool touch, and you'll also see a character here that was in the Arkham games as well. But,
would you want an Arkham Asylum 2?
We kind of got it, but yeah, I would love another, City and all those, but I'd love another game that's just set in a confined atmosphere.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That.
Like another game that was kind of like Arkham Asylum.
I think it would only fit Batman, a Bat family member.
My name is Amanda Waller. I am the director of Argus, a division of Homeland Security you've never even heard.
So you noticed that was Cash, right?
Yeah, Aaron
But
Cash.
we've heard of you. And I'm here to make you an offer. You're tenacious as junkyard dogs. Desperate. Hungry. You know how to survive. Now that might make you the kings and queens of Arkham. But outside these walls, the world's forgotten about you. And you're going to spend the rest of your lives picking maggots out of prison meatloaf. I could change that. I could be your way out. A chance to do some good. And if...
Hey, Harley Quinn, Arkham Gazette. Just a quick question. What's with the frickin' shark?
I, would be happy to introduce myself.
That won't be necessary, King Shark. This is a microbomb injector from our friends at LexCorp. Stick it in your target's neck, and it's good night. You want this to be where you take your last breath? No? Then help me. I only need one of you. As for the other three, you're dead already. So, show me what you got.
So,
I do find it funny he's already really trying to get out and just kill all of them.
All right, sorry.
so, Makes sense Waller would want the world's deadliest assassin in her pocket. I don't know what she wants the rest of you for.
Knowing Amanda Waller, it is nothing good. In my experience.
What the heck is your experience? And what's a fish doing in Arkham? You got mental health issues.
Like Killer Croc? Was in
But I
Arkham?
was brought here
Like you
from
should
my
know
own
that a fish was already in Arkham?
Bell Rev
Crocodile was
Penitentiary.
not
All
a fish.
focus for one
Hey.
damn minute.
He's a fish.
There's clearly
Crocodiles.
any of us touch that.
And then
thing,
also,
none
wasn't
of
there
us are getting
the
out.
guy in Arkham Asylum, the great white
The
shark?
prisoner's dilemma.
What's the bloody dilemma? This prisoner wants out.
Come on, Captain. You just got here. I've been inside 5 frickin' years.
Feels like I've been stuck in this conversation for 5 years. Can we please?
Oh, so sorry, Deadshot. Are we interrupting your being strapped to a gurney?
Isn't Deadshot supposed to be white?
Aren't you supposed to be shutting your damn mouth? Kangaroo-looking ass.
Because you are Australian.
Okay, so we gonna do the murder each other thing or what? Cause I'll be straight with you. I'd kill anyone to get out of here. I'd kill you. I'd kill myself.
Nobody's killing anybody. If no one goes for the bomb, Waller comes back in here, sees she's not dealing with 4 screw-up psychos. We all get out.
So then we do nothing. Excellent. I have grown quite skilled at...
Enjoy your nothing, idiots. Maybe you should have spent less time in brain class and more time learning how to pick locks. Because it looks like Captain Boomerang...
By the way, I turned on streaming mode, so my music is different than yours was during this.
What do you mean?
Like, they removed the copyrighted music from this part, and
Oh.
it's just a, like, guitar riff.
Oh,
It's also not a very good guitar riff.
why
not
wasn't
to be
it?
an asshole here. What?
Why didn't they just have a non-copyrighted song?
I don't know. These companies always do this, where they think like, oh, well, if I add this copyrighted music, people will like my game. It makes it hip. It fits the thing.
Right.
And it's like, let's get AC/DC. That won't be a problem down the line. And it's like, nope, it's always a problem. It always is.
Well, also, isn't a big part of your marketing streamers?
Yeah. But they don't design games for it. Like, so they want streamers and Let's Players to play their game to market it for free to sell. But they don't want it to... It's like she's, like, getting off to that.
I mean, she's... Yeah.
What?
I was going to say O-R-G-A-S-M-ing, but I don't know if I could say that.
Oh, I thought you were going to call her a W-H-O-R-E.
W-H-O-R... No.
Hey, welcome back. Who wins?
No one. There are bombs in our heads. We are all losers.
The shark's right. She played you all.
You played yourselves. Welcome to Task Force X.
Tight spaces. Breathe. Okay. Need a plan to deal with these crazy sons of... You're already awake, aren't you?
Actually, I'm the son of a god. It is my shame to suffer mortals and their buffoonery.
You and me both. Wasn't planning on picking up a bunch of liabilities in Arkham.
Oh, there's something in my ear! Did one of you bastards inject something in my ear?
In-ear CIC comms. Bet we can hear your bullshit wherever we go now.
You guys are making a girl miss solitary. Still, sure is nice to be out of Arkham. Thanks, douchebags.
Well, we could have started a riot like normal people. But no! Everyone's a backstabber!
It was a test. A mind game. I do not know if we passed or failed.
Well, 4 exploding heads are better than 1. Where are we going, and who are we killing?
They geared us up to take on an army.
Wait. Is that big dropkick driving the flaming train?
I am not. I have never traveled by train before.
Oh, brilliant.
You jinxed it. This ride's like the Aussie. It's old and it stinks.
Joke's on you, love. I'm not that old.
Sharkman, pull that brake lever.
Guys, I thought working together would be a train wreck, and you do not disappoint.
I really like the t-shirt I put Harley in.
Same.
I think it looks a lot nicer than the straight jacket look, although I do like both. I think they're fun.
Yeah, the t-shirt is for my middle gaze.
That makes sense.